Yogurt might seem like a breakfast food, but around the world it shows up in everything from marinades to soups to sauces. So how different can yogurt really be? Let's put it to the taste. Welcome to the Taste Test, the show where ATK's reviews team goes above and beyond tasting ingredients so you can make smart decisions when you shop. Now today I'm joined by Nik Sharma, who is a fellow cast member on America's Test Kitchen. He's on In the Test Kitchen, which you can see on Netflix, and also Flavor Forward, his own show.
Thank you, Lisa. I am so excited. I've always wanted to be on this show.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna taste a lot of yogurt from all different cultures around the world. Do you use yogurt a lot in your cooking? What do you think about yogurt?
I do, because I'm Indian and I grew up with yogurt every day. A bowl of plain yogurt, but it's more of the thin kind of style, which is thicker. But it's made from non-homogenized milk, so you always get that thick layer of cream on top. And then you slice it in like a cake. And that's how I eat yogurt most of the time, just plain.
So, as I mentioned, we're gonna be tasting yogurts from around the world. We bought as many as we could find, both from the supermarket and from some specialty stores. If you grew up eating one kind of yogurt and don't explore the whole world, they're so different.
Yeah, there are a lot of opinions on that.
Okay, so let's go around the world of yogurt.
I'm excited about this.
Me too. So Nik, this is a flight of all American yogurts, and we obviously couldn't taste every single American yogurt out there, but we took 4 that were examples of the style, and we're gonna see what they're like and see what we think.
All right.
So let's start on the left
with
your sample, and we'll see what we think. Some of these are more yellow. This is very white.
It is very white, yeah.
Very glossy.
It also holds its shape when you put it on top.
Yeah, I don't really taste a lot of tang.
But the aroma is lovely. It's very fresh.
Yeah. So let's try the next one and compare. So this one, I see some different texture on top.
Yeah, I see a lot more water also.
Yeah, there's some thick parts and some thinner parts.
Ooh, a lot more tangier.
Much more
start,
tangy.
Yeah.
And then the sort of aftertaste of fat. And I know there's definitely a style called cream on top yogurt.
Yeah.
Where they don't homogenize the milk.
That's the kind of yogurt that I grew up eating.
Yeah.
So I kind of like this.
The layer almost had a little more, almost a goat cheese kind of texture and flavor to it. A little
Yeah, a little bit of funkiness, right?
Yeah. This is really good though. I like its personality. Okay, number 3. Again, looks like cream on top. I see this layer is pretty distinctive.
This is much sweeter. Not as acidic.
None of that funk of the second one. Wow, the cream top layer tastes like cream.
The cream is a dominant flavor here.
No tang, really.
Yeah, if I had to eat this, I would have to add some lemon juice or something, just because I'm expecting a little bit of acid in there.
I'm moving on to the 4th one. Again, super glossy. Wow, okay. Kind of luxurious looking.
It's very flat. It doesn't feel like yogurt. It's something that's pretending to be yogurt. Yeah, this is definitely not one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's not flavor forward. Want to find out what they are?
Yeah.
Yogurt number 1 is Dannon. So Dannon was first brought to the US in 1942, and it was the first commercially produced, widely available yogurt in the United States. In 1947, they added fruit on the bottom, which was a huge innovation, and that made yogurt really take off. I think it added that sweetness that Americans love. Our taster said it was very much like the yogurt I ate as a child, very mild with a touch of tartness, and creamy, smooth, and on the thicker side. So let's see yogurt number 2. This one is Maple Hill, and it's a grass-fed cream on top yogurt. It's a traditional, minimally processed version of yogurt where it has the cream level on top because the milk is not homogenized. Tasters really found it pleasant, tangy, also kind of funky like goat cheese, which I think I mentioned. A grassy aftertaste. It is grass-fed cows, so that flavor comes through. We also found it very loose, thin, and runny.
So far, that's been my favorite.
Yeah, I thought it was nice. It had a little personality. Yogurt number 3, Brown Cow. Another whole milk yogurt that is non-homogenized, so it had the cream on top. I think we found it pretty mild compared to the funky one that was before it, and the tasters agreed. They found it loose, thin, mild, and creamy with just a slight tang.
Yeah, I would say so. This was my second favorite in the lot.
Here we go. Here's the last one. So this one is Stonyfield, and
Okay.
it's a plain whole milk yogurt, organic probiotic. It's from Vermont. I think we agreed with the tasters. They felt that it was mild and creamy, pretty subtle, they said. I think that's kind of our version of
Yeah.
not as flavorful. I think it's hard coming after Maple Hill with all its tang and, you know,
Bold. Yeah, it's just so bold.
bold flavor.
Yeah.
So Nick, these are the 4 American yogurts we're tasting. What'd you think?
Maple Hill tugged at my heart. The flavor, the texture. I know it's thinner and looser, and that isn't really the classic American style yogurt, but that's the type of yogurt I grew up with, where the fat's separate, it's a little more sour. The grassiness didn't bother me at all. Actually, I didn't pick up on it as much, but it is more noticeable when you have the brown cow, which
Yeah.
is my second favorite in this lot.
Okay.
The Dannon would be my third,
Okay.
and then Stonyfield my fourth.
So ready to move on to a different country?
Bring it on.
So now we have a French style yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little milky around the edges. It's separating a little bit. Wow, this is good. I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The creaminess is also pleasant.
Yeah.
It's blended in nicely.
It's quite thick, but it's not very pasty. It's very light.
Feels like this was made fresh.
Yeah, it tastes like fresh dairy. Want to find out what it is?
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
La Fermière.
and this is one of my favorites. I buy them all the time, and I usually don't like fruit, like layered yogurts.
Yep.
They make the best ones.
Really, they
Yeah.
have the fruit ones, but this is a plain. It's pasteurized whole milk, pasteurized cream, live active cultures, no pectin. This is a glass pot, and they fill it and culture it right in the pot. Generally has higher fat content than, say, American yogurt, double or more than ordinary plain yogurts. So tasters found it very light and mild, pleasantly sweet, silky and creamy, and like a less tart sour cream.
Yeah, I would say it's more in the spectrum of being closer to creme fraiche. Like the fat's there, but it's not in your face.
Yeah,
It's just nice.
it just tastes really good
Yeah.
and very fresh. Okay, so let's try another yogurt. So Nick, this is an Armenian yogurt. And
Wow.
yeah, so we're ranging now to other places. I'm looking at this and I see it's thick. So let's see what this tastes like.
Ooh,
Okay, now I'm curious.
tangy.
Very tangy, and I don't know why I got baked potato. Maybe because I think about sour cream, but there's like a flavor in there.
There
that-
is, yes.
like a
At
bakey
the end,
flavor.
like
Yeah,
like butter after it's cooked.
it's really nice.
It also has an astringency. I don't know if that's because there's so much acid in here.
This is Karoun whole milk yogurt.
Aha. Okay,
So-
I do buy their labna
Oh, really?
all
Okay.
the time at home, so I'm very familiar with this brand.
Interestingly, it has cultured pasteurized grade A milk and cream, skim milk, and pectin. This is actually made in California,
Okay.
but it's made in the Armenian-Style.
I actually live in an Armenian neighborhood in Los Angeles, so I'm very familiar with this brand. You find it everywhere.
Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. Our tasters found it has subtle sweetness, bright and tart, tangy but not overwhelming, thick but not quite smooth, a little bit grainy. So I'm looking at the live and active cultures, and I see 6 different ones, which is more than usual. Is that better to have more cultures, or just it determines the flavor differently?
So it definitely determines the flavor of the yogurt and the texture. And one of the things with the culture from a culture is the fact that a lot of these countries or these regions had those bacteria, those microbes available. And a lot of them are also patented, and you can only use it to make a yogurt of a certain style.
Oh, that is so interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe someone brought them from Armenia. I mean, you don't know.
People do that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that there's a place here in Belmont, Massachusetts, where Sophia's Greek Pantry, and you can't get the yogurt anywhere except in this immediate area.
Okay.
But she brought her culture from Greece
Okay.
and makes her own yogurt, and it's the best ever of all time. If you're ever in Belmont, Massachusetts, Sophia's Greek Pantry.
Can I admit something on this show?
Sure.
I've actually done this. So many, many years ago when one of my friends, her mom told me how to bring Indian yogurt cultures from India. You basically take a piece of cheesecloth, dip it, air dry it, wrap it up in a Ziploc bag, pack it in your luggage, and re-soak it in milk when you come back home.
That's so interesting. People do that with sourdough starter as well. You can dry it out. And
Yeah, and
put it in an envelope and mail
yeah.
it to your friend, and they can make sourdough.
Yeah.
So that's so interesting. Those are such precious flavors and contain so many memories. And I think that's really wonderful.
Yeah, there's so much in a single bacterium. I love microbiology.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to cry now. Okay, so now we have some Turkish yogurt. And it's only one sample. It's not as easy to find as all those American yogurts. It's very fluffy looking. Definitely not pourable.
Oh, tangy.
It's kind of like cheese.
Like cheddar? Do you get like a cheddar aftertaste?
Yep.
It's smooth.
It's very smooth. It's got personality, for sure. It's not bland in any way.
Yeah, it doesned sit behind.
No.
It's like right there.
Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
This is called Merve Natural Plain Whole Milk Yogurt. Cultured pasteurized grade A milk and cream, skim milk, and pectin. 6 cultures.
Okay.
Let's see what the taster said. Pretty tangy, a little cheesy, thick, velvety, slightly grainy. So very interesting. I really enjoyed it.
One of the dishes at America's Test Kitchen, a breakfast dish, which comes from Turkey. The eggs are poached and then spooned right on top of this bed of creamy yogurt, and it's called chilbur. This is perfect for that.
Oh, sounds so good. Well, we do have that recipe on our app. So we have Greek yogurt now, and you know there's so many brands of Greek yogurt in the supermarket now. It came in about 10 years ago with a bang, and there's so many. We chose 3 representative ones, and let's check them out. In typical Greek yogurt style, these are so thick and substantial, they stand up. And I know that this is done because they strain out the excess whey. It concentrates it, it also boosts up the protein level.
It's not as sour as some of the other yogurts we've had today.
Much milder, but not bland. Actually, really nice flavor.
It is very smooth.
I guess we'll move on to the next one. This one has some liquid
Yeah,
right around
more
it.
so than this one.
Very thick. Wow, look. This is, boom. Okay, very heavy. It's almost like the texture of cream cheese.
You could use this as cream cheese on toast.
This is nice. It's got a very mild flavor.
The creaminess is there, not as bold in creaminess as the first one.
It's thicker, but the dairy flavor in the first one was a little more present. Okay, number 3 is much more glossy.
Smoother.
Also thick. Look at this. Take a minute to come off the spoon here.
Sour. Very sour compared to the other 2.
Wow, distinct tartness and sourness. So let's find out what these are.
Okay.
So the first one is Chobani Greek yogurt, and this is their whole milk plain Greek yogurt. It just contains cultured milk and 6 live and active cultures. It's made in upstate New York, and it's definitely in the Greek style. It's very popular. So our tasters found it had a strong milky flavor, was more sweet than sour, smooth, pillowy, silky, and rich. Which I think we would agree.
Yeah, it hit all those points.
Next we have
Aha.
5%, which is their full-fat yogurt. It's plain. This is a Greek yogurt that is also made in New York. Our tasters said they could eat it straight up, mildly tart, rich, relatively mellow, thick, luscious, almost whipped. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. To me, this is quintessential Greek yogurt. And third, we have Green Mountain Creamery.
Oh.
And this is a 5% fat level Greek yogurt. This is made with cultured pasteurized non-fat milk and cream and 3 live active cultures. Tasters said it was very approachable, mild tartness, super smooth texture, and almost fluffy.
I feel like yogurt should always have a little bit of tartness.
Yeah.
Because I feel that's the whole point. So I like it.
I liked all 3 of these.
Yeah.
Still game to eat more yogurt?
I can eat a lot of yogurt.
That's great. So now our journey takes us to Iceland.
Oh, okay.
Icelandic yogurt is thick like Greek yogurt, and I think we definitely see that here.
I actually got to see Icelandic yogurt being made in Iceland a couple of years ago, and it is very much a part of the culture. It's used in savory dishes, but also in sweet dishes.
That's so interesting.
It's so delicious.
Yeah, no, this is really good. It's very, very creamy, but I feel like it's more cultured than fresh dairy flavor.
Even though it's acidic, it doesn't feel as astringent as some of the other yogurts we've tasted today. And I'm wondering if it's because of there's just so much protein in here.
Maybe. Yeah, it's not as tart. It's quite mild, and it's a beautiful texture. Moving on to number 2 here. Very glossy, again, extremely thick. Wow.
Slightly grainier than the previous one, and maybe a little bit yellow.
Yeah,
Or
yes,
it's not
it
as
is.
white.
Yeah.
Oh, very smooth. It looks grainy, but it's really smooth.
Oh, yeah. It's like satin.
I kind of like this a lot.
And it's tart, again, very lightly.
Very pleasant.
So the first one is Icelandic Provisions. And this is their whole milk plain Icelandic Provisions yogurt. It's made actually in Iceland. And this is considered whole milk skyr, which is their kind of version of yogurt. In Iceland, it's often made with rennet, like cheese, instead of cultures. This one, on the other hand, does use live and active cultures. Total fat 6 grams, protein 17 grams per 3/4 cup. Skyr is so interesting. I mean, you went to Iceland and learned about how it's made?
Yeah, I got to see, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, the Retvir, where the sheep are brought in.
Okay.
And in Iceland, sheep's milk is used to make skyr, so the flavor is a little more stronger, but it's also got a little more personality to it than cow's milk sometimes.
Yeah. Our tasters found it fluffy, creamy, tangy, and smooth. Appealing tartness that doesn't overshadow the milkiness, thick but not stodgy, and super lush. But I think this one was even more super lush.
The second one is definitely a lot more body to it.
Yeah, let's see what that one is. This one is Siggi's. This has got 4% milk fat, 18 grams of protein per serving. So yeah, the protein wars are real.
It just keeps going up and up.
Yeah. And it's made with whole milk and live active cultures. There's 5 different ones here. This is made in New York. And I actually met Siggi once about 10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at the Fancy Food Show in New York. He said he moved to the United States and really missed skyr. And there was nothing comparable here, he said. He missed it so much, he decided to make it and then turn it into his business.
And we're all thankful that Siggi decided to bring it here.
Okay, well, great. Let's try it. Let's stamp our passport and another yogurt. We'll go to
yay,
another
let's
country.
do that, yeah.
So now we have one that is an Iranian-style yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's find out what that's like. So quite thick, and it's almost got like curds in it.
Yeah, it's a little lumpy, but the lumps smoothen out.
Yeah.
It's slightly grainy.
What I really love about this is that sort of bright tartness. It's not sour. It's just like the way a fresh lemon is.
But it's creamy.
Yeah. It's not funky in any way.
It's very fresh tasting, like
Yes.
it's just come out.
I like it. It's not too thick or thin. It's kind of in the middle.
I don't know if runny is the right word to describe it, but
Yeah.
it's holding its shape.
Yep.
But it's also moving very effortlessly.
Yeah.
I'm happily surprised with this. I've never had Iranian yogurt
Me
until
neither,
today.
and I'm really happy
This
with
is
this.
lovely.
This is Abali yogurt, which is a Iranian-style yogurt made in California. Our tasters said it was notably tart with a pronounced rich, milky flavor. It contains tapioca and pectin.
Oh, that's a new one. I
Right?
didn't expect tapioca.
Yeah, very thick, smooth texture that was almost gelatinous. I'm not sure I'm picking up gelatinous.
And it's interesting, with those two stabilizers in there, the tapioca and the pectin, you would think that it would be more body forward, but it's not. It's
like
still,
almost boingy.
It's still very fluid.
It is. It's very nice. I understand that it's made by an Iranian-Armenian family. So this is a family business based out of California. They're making the yogurt in the style that came from Iran.
Okay. It's a good tasting yogurt and a good cooking yogurt.
So this is Bulgarian yogurt. And we have 2
Okay.
samples. Let's see what it's like.
I feel we're going to the mothership of yogurt now.
Yes, yes. A lot of the yogurt has an active culture called Bulgaricus.
Yeah, so what's really interesting is that when you look at the names of microorganisms, they actually have a lot of hidden information in them. And so Lactobacillus bulgaricus, which is one of the microorganisms you see in almost all yogurt cultures, the bulgaricus actually refers to the scientist who first identified this particular strain, and he's from Bulgaria.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's very runny.
Very runny. Look at that. Very smooth, very liquidy.
It's very tangy. And this is something I've been noticing throughout all these yogurt testings we've done. As soon as we moved away from America, the amount of acidity seems to become more prominent.
Definitely American yogurts are much milder and less acidic and less tart. I really like this. It has a very clean, kind of milky flavor. And clean, but just meaning uncomplex. Just tastes
Very
like milk.
refreshing.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
Very good. I love it too. Yeah.
Let's try the second one. A little thicker.
Yeah.
Still quite runny, but stands up a little when you pour it.
The grains seem a little smaller than the previous one if you look at the sides of the bowl.
Oh, yeah.
This one is refreshing too. The acidity is pretty similar to the previous one.
Definitely a slightly different flavor profile.
I feel there's something that's similar to both of these is that the clearness and the acid.
Yeah, they're both easy to pour. These are definitely a different texture, much more fluid, and they both have that bright tartness.
This is hard to choose.
Okay, so let's see what they are. Okay, the first one is Trimona Foods from Port Jefferson, New York. So this is pasteurized organic whole milk, live and active yogurt cultures. L. bulgaricus is the first one, so that's our Bulgarian. Yep, so lots of cultures in here. Let's see what the other one is. White Mountain Bulgarian yogurt, made in Austin, Texas. Single source dairy, organic grade A pasteurized whole milk and live cultures. And there's 4 of them. Let's see what the taster said. So for the Trimona Foods, lively with a mouth-puckering tartness, thinner and pourable, pleasantly smooth and creamy. I think we would 100% agree. This was a lightning rod of tartness, this White Mountain Organic, and very smooth and on the thin side. I think that's a really interesting way to put it. It definitely wakes you up.
It's the dramatic one of the two.
Yeah, I have heard that in Japan, they're such fans of Bulgarian yogurt, they have a Bulgarian Yogurt Day.
No way.
So it's actually on May 15th every year because that is the birthday of the Bulgarian scientist who first discovered that live and active culture, Bulgaricus. So I guess, you know, that's real appreciation to have a whole national day to celebrate yogurt.
It's one of the best things to celebrate, and I'll go to Japan for it.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to go.
All
Let's
right,
go.
let's do this.
Yeah, see you there. So Nick, I think you might say we saved the best for last. This is Indian yogurt.
Oh, so you take me back home.
Yes. So we have 2 samples.
Okay.
Let's try the first one. So I think you were saying earlier that it tends to be a little bit thinner.
It does tend to be a bit thinner. You rarely see a lot of stabilizers used.
Okay. This one's pretty mild.
It's very mild. The fat's more prominent than anything for me. Like it's got that buttery texture and taste, but the acid's pretty mild. It's not as runny as I'd like it to be.
Yeah. So maybe even within Indian yogurts, you get some different textures.
Or maybe they're adjusting it for the palate here.
Oh, good thought. It's very mild. It doesn't have that tartness that we were kind of appreciating in some of the other yogurts.
Not as assertive.
Yeah. Let's try the other.
This is very shiny and glossy. Taste-wise, I kind of like this. There's a nice amount of acid in here. It's very velvety.
It also has a much more complex flavor than the first one, I think. It's a little bit more nuanced.
The only thing, I just feel like because I grew up eating Indian yogurt, I'm looking mentally for something in here. This delivers on taste, but again, the texture is too heavy for me.
Yeah. Huh, interesting.
Also, there's salt in this.
It tastes like it might have salt in it. Let's find out. Our first one is Dahi Deep Foods.
Yeah, so Dahi means yogurt in Hindi.
Grade A pasteurized cultured whole milk and skim milk, milk protein concentrate. So that is probably what the thickness is. Natamycin, natural mold inhibitor, and probiotic cultures. Deep dairy products of Waterloo, New York. So you may be right in that they may be making it to be more of an American style of Indian yogurt.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of, like the classic American yogurts that you brought out earlier.
Yeah.
The taste is very similar. And then another interesting ingredient here is the natamycin.
Yeah.
You see that in a lot of grocery stores now. It's an antibiotic that's FDA approved, and they use it in soups. It's used as a preservative to prevent growth of bacteria.
So interesting. Okay, let's see what the tasters thought. Perfectly balanced, a little sweet with a light tartness, fluffy on the thick side, and a little bit grainy. The next one is Desi Natural. Dahi, it says. That's the word for yogurt.
That's the second one
Yeah.
that I kind of liked.
This one is distributed by Desi Fresh Foods in Farmingdale, New York, product of USA. Cultured pasteurized grade A whole milk, non-fat milk solids, probiotic cultures, natamycin.
Oh, again.
Yeah. Tasters found this one mellow with an appealing fattiness and richness, just a hint of tartness, texture that was satisfying, creamy, and super smooth. I think I'm going to be looking for some Indian yogurts, and I'll be trying to find the ones that you described.
Good. I hope you get to try some new ones because I feel there are so many different flavors and textures. It's worth exploring.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Nick, we did it. Around the world in all these yogurts.
Yeah, it's my first time doing a yogurt flight testing, so thank you, but I did not expect so many today.
We definitely tasted a lot of yogurt. I thought there were quite a range of different styles, and that was so much fun.
Yeah, I didn't realize when we put all of these together side by side and tasted them today, how much each one of these has a different personality.
If you could cast your mind back over all of these yogurts, was there anything that you particularly would love to have on hand for snacking versus cooking?
Can I have a few choices, or
Sure.
it's just one? Okay, I did like the French one, the Maple Hill, and then I did like the Bulgarian yogurts a lot. For something that's everyday yogurt that I would use in cooking, I always keep Greek yogurt at home, or even Icelandic Skyr, because both of those have similar textures. One of the recipes that I created for America's Test Kitchen are blistered green beans that are flavored with lemon and then a little bit of date syrup, and all of that sits on a bed of creamy Greek yogurt.
So now I'm really inspired to try your green beans dish with the yogurt and lots of other recipes and keep exploring yogurts around the world.
And if you have a yogurt party, please invite me.
I will definitely do that.